Okay, Justin, you're up on the Relief Fund car show. Tell us about how you thought about it or how did it come up and what about
Okay, yeah. It was actually one of my members' ideas. He was trying to figure out a better way to help support Lahaina after the fires happened because they saw that not enough was being done, in his opinion, and I couldn't agree more. So we went around to a couple places, tossing around the idea of possibly doing a relief fund car show. Basically, everyone would come, show up, have a good time, and all money and proceeds would go to a relief fund that we would send over. We're still trying to figure out what uh, sponsor will be the best to send the money to, whether it be American Red Cross, Lahaina Strong, Maui Strong. There's a bunch of other ones that have suggested that they're the best, send the money to them. We're just trying to see who might be the best, whether it be statistically someone taking something out, whether it's a percentage or they're using their name as the benefit, etc. But beyond that, we've talked to Low Boost Performance, Miller's Chop Shop, Real Performance, Muscle Motors, Summit Racing. He's got the Mustang Club on board. I've talked to Silver State Mopars. I, of course, brought it through our club. We're still waiting to hear back from the Corvette Club and the Camaro Club. But I think that we've got quite a few people. The people that I listed, other than the clubs, are willing to sponsor a trophy. We spoke to Hot August Nights. We're still waiting on a for sure response from them. They said a possibility of sponsoring that show and making it an official event, but we're still waiting to hear back from them. And I've come to the coalition, especially this meeting today, to just basically ask what support can we get from the coalition.
so question, number one, do you have a date planned yet?
Yeah, it'll be on October 7th. I know that's not too far away. It's
Okay.
going to be at the Bonanza Casino.
Okay. Question number two, do you have a flyer on it yet?
We have a flyer. I've been waiting to get a picture posted onto it, but I'll be handing them out and posting it all around comes Friday or Saturday for the Genoa show, especially.
Okay. Well, if you get it here, to the coalition, we can get it on there and get it posted up. What are
Okay.
you looking for from the coalition for besides advertising for the event for sponsorship? What are you thinking?
We were open to possibly get some volunteers. I know that I'll ask my group more specifically about volunteers, but we spoke with Bonanza and they aren't able to help out as much this year because they've been losing quite a few people. So they can't put anyone outside in the parking lot other than like an advisor or possibly security.
Yeah.
Uh, I sent out a request to City of Reno to get a uh, just event details because I haven't done a large event in the city before. I already got through a insurance company to Bonanza requested that we be insured. I've already got that covered. So we're just basically down to the last part, which is waiting for the city to get back to us and looking for volunteers. We're looking to hopefully have 1 to 2 people helping with parking since it'll be single file in. Uh, Somebody, if not 2 people, handing out the registration paperwork down the line because we are sure that people are going to be lining up faster than we can handle them. And then we'll have 2 people, whether that be myself and Steve, or it'll be 2 volunteers at the table helping with accepting money, putting into a lockbox, and just giving directions, generalized directions.
And Kevin, you got questions that I know brewing in there?
No, I'm listening right now to see where he's going with it.
Okay. Justin, what's the time on the 7th? What are the times for the show?
We'd be looking at probably 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. They said because it's Saturday, it will be hard to later in the afternoon to keep the show going without filling up more spaces than they need. But I think that 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. is long enough for any show, especially just because it's getting cold doesn't mean it won't be hot during those times.
Okay. Anybody have any questions or adds to what we got going here?
Well, I guess I could throw in, if the whole point of it is a relief fund, I'm happy to help sponsor the event. Bring my my graphic designer in if that's going to help. With flyers or something like that, or if you guys think you can get more draw by having a band there. The whole point is to raise money for a good cause. So maybe
Yeah.
I can, if Justin, if you want to think about, where I might be able to just, contribute something towards the event. Otherwise, we could just make a donation towards the fund too. No big deal.
Okay. I appreciate that. Yeah, we do, I believe, have a DJ picked out. He was one of the ones at the Champion Chevrolet show. Still waiting on confirmation from that, but I think he's all for doing it. We're gonna have a small stage because we didn't expect to have a band, and we're trying to plan that a bunch of cars will come, but we don't want to have a bigger event that needs more money to go to paying it back than going to the relief fund. Yeah, I would love to get some help with the flyer, whether it be helping with design or changing some things or what you might think might be better on the flyer than what we have.
He's lean on him. He's got a really good girl that does that stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the cost for the show?
So far we from what I've talked with Steve is we're thinking about 35 to enter. We're up for anyone's opinions on whether it should be higher, lower, different.
Are you doing trophies and stuff like that, or is it just a come and hang out?
Yeah, we're gonna have trophies sponsored by Low Boost Performance, and each shop is going to have a specific, whether it be for their favorite pick or Low Boost Performance said, for example, they might do best fitment because this isn't going to be just for one certain car community since it's for Maui. Maui is family to us. They're part of the states just as much. So we want to invite all car clubs, all groups, all cars, all favorites. So we've got Low Boost Performance is going to do one. Miller's Chop Shop. Real Performance said that they might. Muscle Motors is on board. Summit Racing said they'll support. I haven't asked them specifically if they wanted to sponsor a trophy. I know that I talked with Dolan and Champion Chevrolet. Champion Chevrolet's I'm still waiting to hear back, but it sounds like everyone is on board. She has to just talk with the owner to get permission to sponsor a trophy, if not be there. I haven't heard anything back from Dolan, but I know that I can put up 2 trophies for anyone that can't either afford one or wants to put one in, but they don't know where to go. And it'll be for either choice class, specialties, whether it be classic, best under a certain year, best over a certain year, or best fitment, best engine, you name it.
Who's judging?
We're going to be judging for the clubs, specifically best in club, best out of club in the club. I know Summit will be judging for whether we give them a trophy or they sponsor one. Low Boost will be judging for Low Boost trophy. Miller's will be doing it for Miller's trophy, and so on.
This is kind of a out there question, but do you think there'd be anybody that has a relative here in Reno, like that been affected in there, that they could set up a booth, and you have like Hawaiian people here?
I reached out to some Hawaiian distributors and some restaurants. Unfortunately, a lot of the Hawaiian food restaurants didn't do so well, so they had to get rid of their trucks, and some of them aren't willing to cater such a big event. Some of the ones that were willing to, unfortunately, are already booked up. Like I said, this was kind of a drop-on date, so it's kind of hard a month out to plan something. I did get Kona Ice. They're going to be coming to help sponsor the event.
Month away.
Are you looking for more catering options, Justin?
Absolutely.
Okay, I'll get together a list of contacts and shoot them over to you. I would say
Okay.
just in general, if after this meeting, if you just want to shoot me a quick email, just so I've got your contact, I'll sync you up with my graphics girl. You can give her everything you want. She can print out all the flyers, and we'll bring them to the show on Saturday, so you can hand them out, promote your show. And then I'll refer you to some caterers and if there's any other resources or contacts I might be able to bring you, just feel free to fire off a big old list. And if I can help, I will.
Awesome. I appreciate that. This is what I was looking forward to. I know the coalition always wants to help.
Yeah, these
Dennis,
good guys dragged me into it, so now I got to reciprocate.
Dennis, I think it might be a good idea that the coalition has a trophy in there as well.
Okay,
Okay.
you can count on us, Jim.
I appreciate that.
And we'll
Thank
probably
you.
get some volunteers, but it'll be, we'll start thinking about that after the show we have coming up here.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's
Can we get
a
that on Rich Strout's list that he's emailing out to everybody?
What's that?
The car show, spreadsheet that gets fired out every, couple of weeks or months or whatever. I believe it's Rich Strout that does that.
That's Rich up there at the top. Rich,
Yeah.
you want to take over?
I'll get it. Yeah, I can get it added in with no problem.
Awesome. Thank you.
there is a club in Maui Classic Cruisers. You might reach
Okay.
out to them just for ideas of where to send money or help. They're real active in their community.
Okay. Yeah. Let me write that down. You said Maui Classic Cruisers.
Yeah, they have a Facebook page.
So my question, Rory, on that, my thought was, is there anybody that the Maui Classic Cruisers has family over here that they could set up a booth?
I can shoot them an email or a text and check that out.
And let the Hawaiian people sponsor that booth themselves. So,
Yeah, like a collection type booth. So for the
yeah, so whatever they want to,
Yeah.
maybe they want to hand some stuff out. Maybe the people want to just come by and drop, some money in a thing for them.
I'll see if there's somebody around there.
And then they could have some kind of a simple banner up there, relief fund, Maui Relief Fund, something, I don't know. Just a thought.
Yeah, we did have one guy that was gonna think about doing T-shirts there. So if anyone wants that option, it's not going to come out of any money. That's just off of his idea, and he wants to help support. So anything that he does will have some profits coming over to us from that.
That'd be cool. Yeah, if you had something about Maui or something like that, you bet. That'd be cool. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Maybe when we're going over that list, if you've got a logo or something, I can have my girl put together some graphics to shoot to that T-shirt guy, and if he's printing on site, which I presume he is, if he's kind of doing this on the fly.
He does have a flag store and apparel business, so I'm not sure. I know that Steve's been in contact with him.
Okay. Well, if you need a graphic to get whipped together quickly that he can print onto shirts, because I know with like my kids' wrestling tournaments, a lot of the time there's T-shirt printing companies there that actually screen print on site.
Okay.
So if that's a thing that he's planning on doing, then I'd be more than happy to sync you up with her. She can get you some graphics so that someone can buy a T-shirt that says they were supporting your cause, and obviously people like badges of honor, things like that. So
Yeah.
if that's something we could help get in queue, if that's in his facility, then yeah, just another thing to throw out there as an idea that might help raise funds.
Okay, yeah, we did a simple design of kind of we thought about what car we would think about that mostly generates the idea of ocean, Maui, and we thought about the Woody with a surfboard hanging out the back on the beach.
Yeah.
So we got a simple version of that ready for the flyer. We were just waiting to see because I was in contact with someone and I was just hoping they might be able to send me an edited version before, of course, Friday, but we may not be looking at that. So yeah, if we can get that done quickly, I'd appreciate that greatly.
Yeah. If you shoot it to me tonight, I will forward it her tonight. We can have something for you by Friday, no problem.
Awesome. I appreciate that. Thank you.
All right, Just, you done?
Yeah, pretty much. Thank you.
Okay, all right, let's roll into Genoa. Sean, go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. So as of right now, we're 134 pre-registered, which is 10 ahead of this date last year. So I think we're going to have a full house again. I've got the band synced up. That's why I'm in Genoa. I'm checking in with Martin and Jeff, who are playing. So that's, Martin from Ike and Martin. And then he's got another band that does Beatles covers, classic rock, all the stuff that all the car guys are going to be happy with. And we're actually going to set up a remote PA on the far north side of Mormon Station State Park. due to some comments from last year where people said they couldn't hear announcements, they couldn't hear music. So we're going to set up that remote inside the park for reserved at least. Yeah, volunteers. Dennis, I know you got a nice big list going on.
So far,
I'm gonna
so
be
let me
coming-
just throw this out here. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. About 18 or between 18 and 20. So I have a question. The first question I have, Sean, we have 3 parking areas, 3 grass areas we park in. Am I right on that?
Yeah, in the grass. We got 3 parking areas for pre-registered.
Okay,
And then navigated entry and parking on Nixon, but that's a
Okay.
little.
Talk to me about that email you sent. I'm sorry I don't have it posted up here where I could share it, but go ahead. That email you were talking about having like a parking master and then people parking.
Yeah, so my thought process was that we would have one gate master effectively for each gate, each place that people are entering the park, and then one person guiding and finalizing parking, because once we get the first few in, they're just going to follow the flow. And then a third person at each station that is taking funds and finalizing registration right as people park. That was one of the problems we had last year, is in order to avoid traffic, we let people park before they paid, and then half of them simply did not pay. So, and it was a lot to chase because we didn't have enough volunteers, but we've got plenty of volunteers this year. So that was my thought process there.
Okay.
Making sure that we don't have overlap. I was thinking that we would basically take a cluster of numbers that would go to each station so that we don't have different stations identifying different registration or the same registration numbers, because they're not going to be in instantaneous contact with each other. And then what I was planning on is, since I got my girls who all want to come back me up, I'll have all 3 of my daughters running information from Marilee and Marnie and whoever else we might be able to get who are handling the on-site registration back over to the information booth to keep everything synced up. That was my general plan, is the flow, through the station and runners pulling information back to the primary information booth.
Okay. Now, Roy, you had something you sent the other day about some sticker things.
Yeah, after they pay, you give them a little round sticker to put on their headlight. That way you know they paid. So when the parking people go around and get ready to kick people out or go to collect, they'll know who's already paid.
Rory, that's a damn good idea.
Just makes it a little easier for the people trying to collect.
And they only cost
Yeah,
like $1 at a grocery store for about 100 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's worthwhile for sure.
So you put a sticker on all the cars and everybody thinks you're going to get a trophy.
Hey, Sean, usually at car shows, they use those stickers just so they know that a car has been judged at any kind of show or an event. So that is a great idea, Rory.
Okay, cool. So people are used to that happening anyways. So they're not going to be like, hey, put this sticker on my car. They know it means some part of the process.
Yeah,
it's
they might think that they've been judged, but that's a great way for us to know that they've been registered already.
Yeah, they are being judged positively for paying for the event.
Right.
And you can always use a different color for judging. Just, I mean, if you want to put a sticker on it judging.
So the other thing we were talking about in the last meeting was possibly printing out registration forms, and the master, whoever heads these 3 places, ask if you're registered when they're lined up, and if they're not, here's your registration, fill it out. What's anybody's thought on that?
I think, from our previous conversation, Dennis, the more we can hand people the second they enter the park, the better. It's just going to ease the flow of things. So they could potentially, if we've got people in the information booth, we could have people that come in and they just slap down their registration tag with a number that's already been, pre-assigned to them. and along with their $25, and they walk away. They don't even have to walk in line. It's like the members only line, and then there's the register day of, pick up your paperwork line. So it sounds like we might have enough volunteers to pull that off. So I could see that being of benefit. You know, hand the 3 people that are allowing people to enter into the parking lot. They ask for a registration. You know, odds are if the people have got their shit together, then they're gonna have already printed the tag that I emailed them. It's gonna be on their dash. We're gonna know they're good to go. And I've even emailed them a blank additional registration form if they want to put the year, make, and model and fill that out themselves, and put that on their dash instead. But yeah, handing them basically all the docs that they have and letting them know if they fill that out, they can just walk up to the kiosk or confirm with the person that's parking them and pay. That sounds pretty smooth to me.
Okay.
And I guess that was kind of my thought with the girls being runners. They could move money between the primary kiosk and the people in the field.
Okay. Can you print those out? Do you have the entry forms?
Yeah, so I've got just the basic registration numbers that I shoot out to everybody. But what I would probably do is I'm thinking Friday, whatever number we end on, I'll then print out up to 350 or whatever, with the number on it, but without the information filled out. And then we can disperse those flyers around anybody that shows up. It can be on Nixon when people show up. It can be when people are parking in the grass. If we're not at max capacity, anybody that doesn't have a form that isn't pre-registered, we can hand them the form. They can fill it out, bring it up, hand over money, and we can process at our own pace instead of requiring them to sit there while we write everything down. So it would improve efficiency.
Hey, Sean, I'm glad that you are doing that because I don't know how my number was gotten, because Dennis's number was on the event flyer, but I've had a half a dozen people call me and tell me they can't figure out how to do registration, or they have nothing to do with internet, so they're going to show up early. So I'm glad that you have that set up where you can do that.
Yeah, they've asked the same thing with me. They're calling me. I don't know how my number got there, but it doesn't make any difference. I just
Well,
say
your number's up. Your
okay.
number's up on the calendar.
Oh,
mine's
okay.
not.
Okay, all right. Okay, so Rory, do you still have? You think you have like between 3 and 4 people for work day?
Yep.
Okay, let me just throw this out there, guys, for a thought. Kevin's the one, he's traveling the furthest, so I don't, Kevin, I don't expect you to be there at the crack of dawn.
I'll be there at 6 a.m.
Well, you'll be there before me.
Thank you, Kevin.
I was just thinking, Rory, could you be the head of the big park, the big, the main entrance one there, or?
Sure.
And then Alan, can you take the one that nobody could hear anything because we didn't have any speaker down to the facing the main park, the next one to the left, because that's the second one that fills up.
The problem I'm going to have is I have a function in Lodi, California, so I'll only be there for a little over an hour. I'm going to come at 6 and help out for a little bit, and then I got to take off and drive over the mountain.
Okay, how about we do this? How about you're there, you and I go together. When you take off, I'll just be there and can take over.
Okay.
Well, Tim's gonna be there too.
And Tim,
yeah, Tim's. I was thinking maybe have him for
well.
the third one, which is the one behind that fence. That's
Right.
usually the last one it fills up.
Hey, Al, who's going to vote for your club on the trophy then?
Tim Hayes.
Okay.
Yeah, we've already talked to him because we have with Inliners International, we have 5 chapters getting together that we've been planning for months and months, and the only day that it would work was that day, so we had to do it.
Al, thank you for still coming to help out, even though you got a busy day, my friend.
No sweat.
So, Sean, do we want to are you guys available like Wednesday, excluding Kevin because you're too far away, man? Are you, Rory and then Alan, you guys are close. Can we maybe meet up with Sean like Wednesday early evening? kind of look at the park and see where we're going to be stationed and how we want to kind of work them. We did last year, and it worked out really well, I thought.
Yeah, I'm available.
What time?
I don't know, maybe what time do you guys want to get? 4 or 5? I don't care.
5 works.
5,
That's
Roy, are
fine.
you okay? Sean,
Yeah,
can
I'm
you
good.
get there at 5?
works for me. Yep, 5 works for me.
Okay, we'll meet at the, you know where the registration booth is? How about we just meet there?
Right there on the corner.
Yep, right by the stop sign.
Yep.
No, we'll just walk the park and kind of say, okay, this is your area, this is my area, this is. Okay, so.
That sounds good. And just FYI to add to your volunteer list, my father's coming up as well, so we'll have an
Yeah, I
extra
got
body.
him down here. I got Dad. So I mean, this is the list I got here. It's a lot. You know, there's Dad right down there at the bottom.
Hey Dennis, I got a couple questions for you guys. Are we gonna have the trophy ceremony the same place we did last year?
That was my intention, yeah, because that's where we got the band, that's where we got the PA. Yeah.
And then
Okay.
your remote speaker, real quick, the remote speaker is going to go so that facing the big park, the one to the left, they can hear, correct?
Correct. So the north edge of Mormon Station State Park.
Okay,
That
perfect.
north parking zone.
Yeah.
Okay, whoever has that area, can you let me drive my Mustang in? Because it's gonna be loaded up with trophies. And so is my wife's Subaru.
You're going to want it in the big park, aren't you?
Well, wherever we did the trophies last year, that's where I need to pull in because I'm
Yeah.
gonna have.
Well, your
probably have
car
half
was
of
there.
them.
Well,
Wasn't
if you're
your
going to be
car there
here,
by the stage.
Yeah.
if you're going to be here at 6, you're going to be fine because we're not going to be opening up the park at 6 a.m. We're going to
Okay,
be getting
okay.
queued up. There's going to be cones. Yeah. So
Okay. All right.
we'll just wherever that entry to that parking space is, which it will be the same space it was last year, if you remember.
Okay.
Just
Yeah.
be the first car that parks right there, and you'll be the
Okay.
first one in, so you can get a position.
Okay. My next question is Marty and I are going to be doing registration. Dennis, do you have any idea which station that Marty and I will be at?
Whereas Marty's doing registration, right? And
Yeah,
are you going to do registration too?
We were going to do it together. We tag teamed it last year and it worked really well.
Okay, then, because I had Mary Lee come and doing registration too. Do you want to split it up that
Well, yeah. I mean, because the only reason I said that, and the same when we were talking the other night when I was talking about registration, it's hard to cover that whole area. And luckily we have, your wife helping this year doing the registration. So if we split it up, we can gang up and get everything covered. So
Okay.
if you give us a designated area where you want us to go, make this way we're not going to the same area as she is going.
Okay, but are you going to be working? Are you guys thinking about working with Sean at the table? Yep.
No. Well, what we did last year, we walked the whole all of Genoa and just person by person said, "Hey, are you registered? Are you all set to go?" Blah blah blah, and then we would collect money, and then when we hit a certain amount of money, we would rush it back over to Sean, and then we'd go back to where we were.
What about where you have your car at the big park, the bigger one?
Well, yeah, we hit that area. We actually hit, I think, we hit the whole park, didn't we, sweetie? Yeah, we walked the whole park. But if your wife is going to be doing as well, maybe we could split up that whole area in parts.
Yeah, let's do that because Roy, you're going to be in the big park.
Okay.
So Kevin can work with you, and you have your other people parking cars, right? Your own people parking cars.
Yeah.
And then Kevin, if you work where you're going to be parked at,
Okay.
that one section only, no other one. And then Alan,
Okay.
you and I can work that north one, right? Okay. And then Tim, it's not on here now. Hopefully I'll try to call him. We'll have that one behind the fence there. But that's the last one. It
Because
usually
then we have
fills up.
3 people managing. Basically, as soon as someone parks, you've got someone handling the registration. Next person parks. Next person parks. And once that park is full, we close that off. All those
Correct.
jobs are no longer needed.
Correct.
And if somebody has those extra stickers, I still think that's a great idea on Rory's part. We'll slap that sticker on that headlight so we know that we've already hit them up for registration. This way we cover everybody.
Great idea, Roy.
And once in a while, you know.
Yeah,
now
me
you're
too.
good
Rory.
for the rest of the year, buddy. You can bank the rest of it. So, okay. So 5 o'clock Wednesday, we'll kind of go over the parking area just to be sure we're all covered. I'll have Mary Lee and she'll work with me on that north park there for registration. That'll be good.
Is Sean, you going to be hanging out at the same place with registration when it begins?
My thought was to do that in the beginning, but it would be nice to not be trapped there all day. But I figure once once the park is everybody's parked, everybody's in place. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we can rotate some shifts so I can go around and
as long as that's a designated area where we know we can bring back the registration forms and the funds. I mean, I agree with the trading off people in that area, but that we need to have a designated area where we know where we can go with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the central hub that everybody else updates to, I would say.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
And now
we want people coming with their votes for community choice awards. We want them to drop those off too.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why even on the map it shows that's the information booth. That's the central hub.
Okay.
And then let's see, Rory, I can't remember. Did you talk about you had parking vests? I know we do.
Yes, I've got I forget how many, maybe 8 or 10. Yeah.
Okay. Because I'm going to bring mine, and I don't know if Tim has them or not, but I'll try to call him and get them tuned in for Wednesday.
I'll just throw them all that I have in my trunk and bring them.
Okay. Yeah, we'll bring ours too. Okay, what else we got?
Well, I have some as well. If we need extra.
Okay. So what else we need, Sean?
I think we're pretty dialed, man. As long as bodies show up in the morning, we're good.
Okay.
One thing I'm going to switch back to Justin real quick. You're talking about this. Let me get my calendar pulled up. You're talking about the show on October 7th, correct?
Yeah.
Well,
Correct.
the coalition meeting is the 9th. You want me to move that up to the 2nd, October 2? To finalize, anything you might need. Or do you want something at the end of this month and one in the 2nd?
No, I think you're welcome to move it to the 2nd if you want to, but I don't think that'll be needed. My main question actually coming in here today was to just figure out if I could siphon any volunteers from you guys, because I know that you guys are very good at finding people that are willing to do some volunteer work and just help the other clubs out.
Okay. Well, think about it. If you need us to schedule something, it's simple enough for us to get this group together.
Thanks for that, Justin.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. What else we got, guys? Anything else?
So what's our next meeting date then?
Well, as of now, it's the 9th, October. Unless Justin changes it and move it up to the 2nd.
Well, don't
You
put too
gonna
much
be
weight
there,
on me.
Dennis?
What's that?
Dennis, are you gonna be out of town?
When are we going? When are we going?
I thought you guys were going like the 4th to the 14th.
I've got it from the 9th.
Okay.
Yeah, we're good.
Oh,
One
my
other thing,
guys,
Kevin, we've been talking about this, and I tell you, I haven't done anything on it. And that was a 2024 event planning meeting.
You
What do we
want
need
to talk
to
about
do?
that?
Huh?
Are you wanting to talk about that now?
I mean, if unless anybody has anything else with the show.
I've got nothing else, and if you gents don't mind, I'll jump off if you're going to do some long-term planning right now.
No, we're not doing any long term. We're trying to plan something for long term, and then maybe do some kind of a thing back at your place in February.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think that's the date we're talking about was February.
Yeah,
the
I'm
planning?
open to do that again, 100%.
Okay.
Yeah, we still need to follow through with that, Dennis. I agree. The car club community really needs that. We need to have some sense of organization as far as what is going on with car events next year.
And
So
is,
yeah,
Kevin, is February too late, or is,
well,
I mean, I don't know.
I kind of fall along the lines that how Hot August Nights was doing it. I know Al had a different perspective on where to go as far as dates. So I don't think we ever really came up with a secure date on that.
Well,
So
what's Hot August Night do? Do they do it a year ahead of time?
well,
They've already got their dates set for next year because they and so do I, and they've already overlapped me. They moved their week out. They end on the day that my car show is.
So what's anybody's thought about a planning meeting?
Everybody's planning now.
Yeah, pretty
Should you
much.
try
We
to-
have our dates already.
Huh?
See,
We have our dates that we'd like, so.
so part of our problem is that down here, either Carson Valley or Carson City, we only have 3 parks to choose from. That's it. And right now with the Scout Show, we are not doing anything more with the Carson City Park and Rec. They screwed us. So the only option we have is Lampe Park, which is in Carson Valley. So we have to work with what we have is 1 park, and we have to work around their schedule. We fortunately got our Scout Show back to the 2nd week of August, like it has been for the last 8 years.
8 years.
And and now August Nights decided to shift their week into our week again. That's the 2nd time they've done that to us, but we just found that out. So we have to plan. We have to do our thing now, and we did. So you guys can have a planning meeting, but and that's fine. But we had to do what we had to do because we don't have options, and things are booked up already down
Well,
here.
question, I guess, Vic, then the question would be is that, I mean, do we want to try to have a planning meeting, or is it just
Well, you guys, I mean, you
a
guys
waste
can
of time?
do it.
It helps to do it because it keeps everybody from overlapping. But Hot August Nights, they're going to do whatever they want,
And they
Right.
did.
and they did. But so they I'm stuck with that, and that's okay because we'll still have a good show. But it's good to get something going. Like Rich puts out that calendar. Al's Hot Rod Shop puts out their calendar, but their calendar doesn't come out until what, April. But if we have something that's ongoing and we start like within the next month or so, start putting stuff on there, then people can go in there and look and say, hey, okay, well, I can't do it this day because so-and-so's got something going.
I mean, it needs to be planned. There should be planning.
And do you do a planning meeting like what we're doing now via Zoom? Is that the easier, or do you go live face to face?
face to
I think
face.
a Zoom meeting is fine.
Okay, we've got
I don't
two
agree with
different
that.
directions. Kevin, what are you thinking?
I don't agree with that. I think face to face is best. You get all the clubs together. Yeah, I do. Getting all the clubs together and getting them all there so they come up with their ideas.
And what would we?
Not everybody is in the Zoom. Not everyone has the time to do whatever certain time we decide to do. I mean, if we put it out there, at least they can either send somebody else in to do it.
But you're
Or
thinking
they
about
come
doing
in
it at
for
the February thing.
I'm thinking about doing it if we were going to do it like we discussed, doing it at the Automobile Museum like we did last year.
Yeah. See, and I think that's too late.
That's a good idea. Yeah. Okay, so how do we promote it? So I get with Sean and have his graphic designer get a flyer up?
Yeah, I do. I agree with that. If we do that,
Okay,
that's what
will
we
it
need
be
to
under
do
the
to
heading
promote
of the coalition?
it. We need something that gets people's attention to say, hey, if you want to get your show together, make sure that we're not stepping over each other. How many shows are on the same date as the Genoa show this year? I mean, come on.
Yeah.
We really need to try to do this. I know people are already doing some planning. I only have 1 show planned for next year, but not everyone has everything marked what they want to do for next year. But any kind of thing to get people together stating, okay, what show, what date, what place, what location, all that is a good thing. We need it. We need something in place on this.
When do we want to do this? You want to do it in October? November?
I think no later than November.
Rory, what do you got, man? What do you think?
I think November's good.
Beginning of November?
Yeah, somewhere in the beginning, because then they start running into holidays. So beginning of November, or it'd have to be after Christmas. And I vote for November.
But the thing is, and we talked about this last time, we're gonna have to have 2 meetings. I know we'll have the initial meeting, but things change. So you might have to have another one like in February.
Exactly.
I mean,
Exactly. You have that second one over at Sean's place with food, and it's kind of fun and that kind of stuff.
and this is, and we need to make sure that we have, Michelle Opio involved, so she can have the notes taken down like they do with what they used to do with the N2M2 as far as getting these dates secured. So she knows and gets them on the calendar as well. Because if we just talk about it and discuss it and there's no one there to record it, it doesn't make any difference. We have to have somebody that makes sure they have it down.
Okay. And then Rich is not going to be around. He's going to be back home in Florida, right?
Well, if you do it in early November, I'll still be here.
Okay. That would be
Well,
important for you to be at that thing.
It would also be important to have Michelle Opio there on both events,
I'll need
considering
some help with that. I don't know.
she's the one creating the Al Opio calendar, so you need to have her there.
Okay. Okay. Well, let me see if we can get a date for the museum first. I
Right.
can call on that, and then I'll just throw an email out to everybody.
I'm sure I'm sure that wouldn't be a problem. I mean, if that was a problem, I know we could still fall back on Novotel and Stone to do this as well. I think that the main thing there in people's heads is, yeah, we need to make sure we're not stepping over everyone's dates.
Okay.
Well, and that's gonna be hard to do anyway. I mean, there's just too
Yeah,
many
it is difficult. It is
and
difficult to
windows this
do.
big. Yeah.
I've been in meetings where I've had to change my date, on the fly, just because I didn't want to step on somebody else. But if you have everyone there together to discuss it, then you can make adjustments. It's a lot easier.
Yeah, and hopefully we can get people there to do it.
And we did,
Right.
and I think the museum's good because when we did, we ran into Phil at the Colo TV thing when we promoted the Scout Show. He's wanting us to get up there. He's wanting a bunch of cars to get up there. So this would be a good opportunity if
Yeah,
we did this
he
in
wants them
November.
to come to the museum, especially now that they got that all new patio thing set up. And that's another thing I want to know on you guys. Huh?
You've been there, all right? I know we had an event, but I spoke with a female when we did Coalition one.
Yeah.
You have contact? Do you have a contact person?
Yeah, Phil, the director of the museum.
Oh, okay. I've got.
I'm sorry. Okay. He's not the director. He's the president.
Okay. All right. All right. I'll get you that. Give me that contact information if you would.
Okay.
And then I'll make a call and we'll just move it forward this week.
He attended one of our meetings once, and he's interested in getting us all up there again.
You bet.
He is.
He is. And like I was going to say, you guys, when you're doing your car shows, Vicky and I went up and promoted our Scout show on Colo TV.
Yeah, I think you said that.
Yeah, and that worked out great. We had a lot of people that saw that. So, every little thing we can do to get the word out for everything, even if we're going to do the coalition thing, we need to start contacting more car clubs because I don't think we have enough involved.
But you know what? Here's the other thing Kevin and I talked about. When we started this thing, everybody kind of joined and it just took off and went like wildfire.
Yeah.
The thing that I didn't do, I didn't get a contact for a car club. I don't know how we come back and try to recreate that.
I can try to contact some of the other clubs to see if anyone would like to participate more in like the things we do here and more coalition meets.
Well,
I know that I have
what I'm trying to do, Justin, is a master list so we can pass out to this group right here. It's always on the calls. A master list of, okay, this is Kevin's car club and I contact Kevin. This is Dennis's car club and I contact Dennis or Rich or whatever, or Rory or the inliners. I don't have a master list. We need a master list.
When we do
Yeah,
this, when we do this meeting in November, if we do it at the car club or the car museum, maybe we can come up with a sheet like you said you're talking about as far as if people are involved, making sure that they put a contact person and all that. You know, if they're writing down the name of their show, their date, and all that, maybe we can get that information as well as far as contact. So
It's
some
just,
kind of form we can come up with, I'm
it'd
sure.
be nice to have, and you could post it onto the coalition, so if anybody wants to talk to somebody, they can.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, I
Okay.
can work on a little list from just one of the popularized clubs that I know and I'm well with. I can just get you a list by the meeting of November, if not get them at the meeting.
Okay, all right. Okay.
I'll drag them there if I have to.
Okay, all right, that sounds good. Anybody have anything else? Rich, up there? No?
Dennis, I do have a question for you afterwards.
Okay. Roy?
No, I just had another idea that, that big patio they have on the back of the museum there. I guess you can use it if you're one of the car club sponsor things, and it's like $250 a year. And I thought if we can get a number of our little clubs to put in $50 a piece and do it under the name of the coalition. The coalition be the main name that we use if we want to use the patio.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
They
Kevin?
could do cars and coffees or whatever on the patio there, you know, on a Saturday or Sunday morning if you want.
Sure, sure. Okay. Kevin?
I'm good.
Okay, Alan? Vic?
I think we're ready to go.
Okay, Justin, you make sure you get a hold of, Sean. Because that girl will have that flyer for you really quick. She's really good.
Yeah, Sean, how would you like me to contact you if you don't want to say it out
I
publicly?
think Sean signed off.
Oh, how does
yeah, I'll give it
Dennis,
to you
if
right
you wouldn't
now.
mind emailing me his contact.
I'll give it to you right now. It's
Hey,
SHAUN. You still there, Justin?
Yeah, SAHUN.
Yeah, at the @ sign. Nova,
Okay.
NOVA, tile, TILE, the and sign, stone.com.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that.
Okay, we'll get this recording posted up and I'll get working on a flyer for, well, as soon as we hear from, Alan, you give me that contact information for the museum.
Oh, okay. I'll send you.
Yeah, and then I'll call her and we'll get a date signed up.
Okay.
Okay. All right, guys.
So we'll see
Awesome.
Oh, I got one for Kevin. Kevin, did you watch the Raider game?
I guess against Dallas.
No, it was against Denver.
You mean that's the snow one?
Is that unbelievable?
Yeah, it was like a 10-year-old game though. That was an old game.
Oh, that wasn't a preseason?
No, are you talking
Oh,
about
I thought it was a preseason. I thought,
No,
damn, it snowed. My wife came and got me. I was messing around with the Porsche. She came and got me. Thought it was snowing there from the weather we had.
Oh God, no, that was Kerry Collins. That God, I want to say that was back in, I don't know, at least 2006.
Oh, my bad. My bad.
That was an old game.
I thought, man, this is early for the snow. All right.
we've
It
seen
was a fun game to watch.
Yeah. He came back. It was a good game. All right, I'm going to sign off, guys. Let me pause this recording.